I'm here today to announce that the program known as DACA that was effectuated under the Obama administration is being rescinded. This does not mean they are bad people or that our nation disrespects or demeans them in any way. It means we are properly enforcing our laws as Congress has passed them. We are people of compassion and we are people of law. But there is nothing compassionate about the failure to enforce immigration laws. Failure to enforce the laws in the past has put our nation at risk of crime, violence, and terrorism. The compassionate thing to do is end the lawlessness, enforce our laws, and if Congress chooses to make changes to those laws, to do so through the process set forth by our founders.
You know, as a kid, you don't really pay attention to politics because, that was grown-up stuff. All you had to do was just go to school, do good, get good grades, hope to do good in high school, and then go to college. I was about 11 months of age. My father was already here. He arranged for me and my mom to come up here. Keep in mind I was an infant, so she held me in her arms all the way from Zacatecas, Mexico, up to Chicago, Illinois. The terms like undocumented, illegal alien, all that I didn't know nothing about. I was a kid. Like about 2 years after Obama had won the presidency, there was a lot more talk about the politics of undocumented people, illegal aliens. It was confusing. Like, I knew from a young age, I was born in Mexico, but I didn't really think it mattered. Once I get to high school, everybody's being told, oh, you gotta do your college prep. Gotta start thinking about what you're gonna do after high school. So, obviously I'm gonna go with the crowd and do the same thing. Now, this is where I start to figure out I don't have the same privileges as, like, the other classmates I have. FAFSA, student loans. A lot of states don't even give us aid. Hell, they don't even consider us in-state. And a lot of us have to pay out-of-state tuition. I was looking at applying to Northern Illinois University, and they were ready to charge me out-of-state tuition because at the time, the policies were a little confusing to understand, but basically, it was at the fact that I was undocumented and considered an international student.
I got to be honest with you. I don't see how it is that a state like Texas, to go to University of Texas, if you're an illegal alien, you get an in-state tuition discount. You know how much that is? It's $22,000 a year.
And why should they be given preferential treatment as an illegal in this country? That's what we're saying.
So you start to think, you can't apply for a lot of aid. A lot of scholarships require citizen status, or at least residency. I wasn't a resident. I'm not considered a resident. There was a bunch of community initiatives, like Family Focus. They also gave a bunch of resources for scholarships, because trust me, there were scholarships, and they still are, some for undocumented youth. But let me tell you, a lot of that is selective. You probably hear a lot of inspiring stories in the news, this guy, girl, born out of the nation, prevailed through, became a lawyer, a doctor, a politician even, thanks to some help from those kinds of scholarships. But see, then that puts a narrative. A lot of talk about, even if you're undocumented, you can make it. But that's if you want to be a doctor. That's if you want to be something highly achieving, something highly respectable. The scholarship meant to help students with law majors, STEM majors. Here's a scholarship that I could apply to, but it requires me to go to a partner college. Now, I was trying to apply for Columbia College Chicago at that time. So I said, what the hell are 1.5 million undocumented students supposed to do if they're not trying to become a medical major, an engineering major? Like, what am I, an art major, supposed to do? So I went to community college. And if I was going to go to at least community college, I at least wanted to do something in regards to film. It was the summer of 2018. I wanted to create something, and that's when I created my first short film titled Echoes of the Past. I will say it did come out better than what I expected it to be. I didn't have any high hopes for it, but it was a good start. A lot of skills in editing and camera work I learned on my own. I just took what I knew to community college, to my media courses in Kennedy King College, and I made something work. I made something work. I was in there, and I did my best I could, because I also had to get my general educations, my math, my English, science, things I wasn't passionate about.
Yeah, that's right. The first hearing of President Trump's impeachment process, probably more anticipated than a World Series win for the Cubs or the return of the Popeyes chicken sandwich.
Around the wintertime, I made my second personal short film, titled Criminal Innocence. This one was more narrative. I was trying to put everything I'd learned into that project. I actually submitted it to Columbia for a talent scholarship.
Oh, so there's spics now. Think it takes one to know. That's why I got you. Now, tell them to stay back, and if they protest, you know what to do.
The kid obviously knows her shit. If we go in warrantless, there's gonna be hell to pay.
There's going to be even more if they and you don't do as you're told. So if you want to help them, do as instructed.
Apart from the talent scholarship that I received for my second short film, I was considered for the Chicagoland Transfer Award that they had Columbia. That has to be probably the biggest help I've ever gotten. I'm in a better position right now than where I was back in my later years of high school. But even so, I'm not saying that I'm fully affording tuition. I'm still having trouble with that. And this pandemic ain't helping either. There's only so much I could do. Yeah, the talent scholarship and the transfer award helps. But not every case is the same as mine. I mean, it's good that there's these resources. There's some scholarships meant for undocumented. But you take away parts of, the choice of the student and what they want to do when you put major restrictions, college restrictions, where they want to apply, what they want to do, what they have to do, what they're capable of, just so they can get the money that they don't have or they can't get. It all goes back to the fact that we came here at a young age. I had no control of coming here. My parents wanted a better life for me here because there was no life back home in Mexico. And in a sense, I'm still being punished for it. A lot of us are being punished for it. When President Obama passed DACA, it was kind of a help. The fear of deportation, apart from the fear of whether or not we were going to do good in school, they intertwined. But when Trump came in and nearly rescinded it until the Supreme Court stopped him, that was too close. It could have all been taken away. Even today, a lot of the president's rhetoric and words from other conservative Republicans, they don't see the future of undocumented students here in America. They don't think we're going to contribute anything. I'm trying the best I can. Other students are trying the best they can. Just trying to become something, trying to reach that one dream that we came here looking for.